All right, so it's time for a little rant here. The other day, a friend of mine sent me a video of a man, probably late 30s, early 40s, muscular, uh, in a hospital room in Mansfield, and had a mask on, and he was crying, talking about that he's usually a badass, but this is making him cry because he says he has a coronavirus, and he said that his lungs are filled with water and there's water around his heart, so the coronavirus is destroying his heart. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. And then he's telling us all to stay indoors, and stay inside and don't go anywhere, and the typical advice you get from somebody like him. And then he's saying, don't make fun of this on Facebook because it's not a joke. So, and then he says he's perfectly healthy. He's just nothing wrong with him. He's perfectly healthy until he got the coronavirus. So anyway, so I went to his Facebook page. I want to see. I don't know this guy, so I want to see what he's all about. And I discovered that for the entire month of March, he's partying and he's doing a kind of a rednecks with paychecks kind of event, and just hanging around a bunch of people, having a good old time, and commenting on he can't wait till spring break next week, and he's going to keep partying and just having a good time. Then I go a little further and I see memes that are joking about the coronavirus, the things he's telling us not to do. And obviously he didn't stay inside. He didn't listen to his own advice. Now the issue with his heart, he didn't get coronavirus because he's a healthy man. He got coronavirus because he had a heart issue. His cardiologist says he has a blockage. COVID-19 doesn't cause a blockage, so you've had that blockage before. So you need to be getting on your knees and thanking the Lord that you got the coronavirus, because you probably think because you work out that you're healthy, and there's a difference between being physically fit and healthy. You can be physically fit and not healthy at all on the inside. Just ask the guy from Biggest Loser, had a heart attack while he was in the gym. So he's spreading misinformation. He did not get heart issues because of coronavirus. He's obviously had those, and he needs to be thankful that something got him to the hospital to where they could discover it, because he by the time he discovered it, it may be a heart attack that kills him. So you never know. So there's that. And then don't preach to me about staying inside when you didn't listen. You thought it was a big joke. You were out there partying and going to the salon and getting your eyebrows waxed and hanging out with all your friends and drinking and partying and having a grand old time until it hits you. Now you're crying because you've affected your girlfriend and possibly her daughter, and who, Lord knows who else. If you want to give advice, call your friends that you were partying with and tell them to stay at home, because we know what to do. We got this. It's people like you that spread the coronavirus and then try to tell me what to do. No, not buying it. I don't want to seem unsympathetic, but I'm not. You did this to yourself, and now you're trying to be the moral compass for everybody else and tell us what to do. No, not going to happen. And they're trying to instill fear. Definitely trying to instill fear, because when the public is afraid, they're more willing to give up their constitutional rights for the greater good. No, I'm not falling for that either. If we went through life, even after coronavirus, if we took these precautions and did the social distancing and washed our hands, which you're supposed to be doing anyway, and when you can't wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. Even if you do, hand sanitizer afterwards. And the only change I've made is not shaking hands and stuff, which everything else is pretty much the same. I always wash my hands. I keep hand sanitizer in my truck, and when I get in my truck, I use hand sanitizer. But if we did what we were supposed to do, we could go on with our jobs. We can go on. The economy wouldn't be tanking. We'd be fine. everything would be running smoothly. But the problem is people like this get out there and they don't care. They don't practice anything they're hearing. And then when they get it, they want to be the preacher. I'm not falling for it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to listen to you. I'm not going to have sympathy for you because you put yourself in that position. And you're not giving this advice to protect me. You're giving 2 or 3 updates a day talking about your condition. You're not trying to help anybody. You're not trying to help a soul. And I'm not sharing his video because I'm not giving him that satisfaction. He's got many more shares than he has friends on Facebook anyway, and it's all because people, he's tugging at the heartstrings. It's this guy who claims he's a badass and he's, all tatted up and he's a tough guy and he's crying. No, it's all on you. You did it. Nobody did it to you. You did it because you didn't follow the guidelines. If you just follow the guidelines, maybe we can continue on with our lives and things would be normal. I'm out here making deliveries. I'm getting unloaded right now, but I don't go on the dock. I don't have contact with people anymore. I mean, if I do, it's from a distance. If I go on the dock, I'm like, I'm not touching anything. What you don't realize is the door handles and all the things that you touch that you really don't realize until something like this happens. But the main thing is that I can say is, don't touch your face. Just that's you're touching on everything, and then when you touch your face. This guy wore contacts. I'm sure he was out there partying it up and then putting his contacts in, taking his contacts out. That's probably how he got it. It wasn't because somebody coughed on him. It wasn't because, somebody breathed on him. It was probably because he was touching things that were infected or they had the virus on it, and then he touched his face. You just don't touch your face. And it's tough. It's tough to not touch your face because when you make a conscious effort to not touch your face, your nose is gonna start itching. But it's gonna happen. But just be safe and don't listen to these people. Don't let them scare you into giving up your rights. At the end of the day, when this is all said and done and this is all over, we got to get back to life as usual, and it's not going to happen. There's a lot of businesses who are going to close because of this. A lot of mom and pops, and it's unfortunate. The economy will not be the same when this is all over. But anyway, on a lighter note, I see pictures of you with your family out in your secluded area in the woods, out by the lake or whatever, or pictures of you with your college-age kids who wouldn't normally be home at their home. Pictures of you, family game night, pictures of you visiting grandparents, but leaving the glass door closed, and I enjoy that. Because the one thing this has done is it's brought people closer to their families, and it's made us realize what's important, and what's important is family and friends. I miss my friends. I'd like to go hang out with my friends and have a few beers, but you can't do it. You just gotta suck it up, and eventually we'll be back to hanging out with your friends and spreading your cooties all over each other. But anyway, I love those family moments that you guys are sharing. Just remember what it was like when you sent your child off to college, and remember how you felt. And now it's unexpected, but they're back, and you get to enjoy them much more. But that day will come when you're going to have to send them off again. Like Trace Atkins says, you're going to miss this. And just take full advantage of it while you can. I don't get to see Robert any more than I normally do, because I'm actually working longer hours. It hasn't really affected me in that way. Love to see my daughters, but I just can't go to San Antonio and no unnecessary travel. And just stop sharing these videos that tug at your heartstrings, because you have to validate. If you want, send me something and I'll check it out. I'll research it, because y'all all need to be researching this stuff, and don't believe anything you see. I don't watch the news. I get my news from online sources, and it varies. What I'm looking at. I verify everything. I don't take you for what you say. just because you got somebody with a mask and scrubs or whatever crying and this and that. I want to see facts. I want numbers. I know that they're actually saying a lot of people are dying of coronavirus that are dying of unrelated issues, and it's sad because I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to scare the hell out of us, and it's working. But anyway, those of you who are staying at home and spending time with your family, enjoy. You're gonna miss this when it's gone. But anyway, love you guys, and I hope you're all safe.